been out of trouble?
Why would I be in trouble?
You guys back from Vietnam, you get kind of restless, you know?
Well, take it easy.
Where you headed?
After Dr. Wellesley said it's okay with you.
No, just checking.
Hey, do me a favor, will you, Phil? Keep off my back.
Sure thing.
Hi.
Hello, Fred.
Fred, don't forget we're expecting you tonight.
Oh, I wouldn't miss a minute.
Frank, what time do I pick you up?
Well, I'm due at the doctor's at 4. That shouldn't take too long.
Something really wrong with you, is there?
No. You know, doctors, they're not happy unless they're making their little tests.
Dr. Wellesley's a really fine doctor, isn't he?
Quite a ladies' man, too, I'm told.
Well, he's not my style.
My dear.
Dr. Wellesley's office? Oh, yes. Well, how about 2 on Monday? Fine, thank you. So when do you start back to college?
Oh, as soon as Dr. Wellesley squares me away.
By the way, Fred, I've been meaning to ask you, what do you tell people you're coming here for?
Oh, I'd just say I have an allergy.
That's pretty good. We had one fellow who used to tell people it was for acne.
Acne? That's more humiliating than what I have.
Dr. Wellesley's office? No, I'm sorry. He's still out making house calls.
I'm so glad you could get away.
Darling, Frank's in your waiting room
I
right
had
now.
to see you. I just had to see you. You know, it's funny. I've got a nurse who's supposed to chaperone me with my female patients, but here I am.
Here you are involved with one.
Not as involved as I'd like to be. Lisa, you will speak to Frank again, won't you?
Won't do any good. He says no divorce.
Well, have you tried offering him money?
Stacks of it. You know, the trouble with Frank is that he's really a nice guy. All he wants to do is get along with me.
Yes, but I want you, Lisa. I want you now, not when Frank gets ready to release you.
Well, Dr. Wellesley will fix you up if anybody can. Though to tell you the truth, I don't trust any of them.
Doctors?
Not a one.
Well, I have a lot of confidence in Dr. Wellesley.
You know, Frank said something odd the other night.
What was that?
Well, he said that you didn't inherit your father's practice, that you had to buy it from the estate.
Yes. Matter of fact, that's true.
It is.
Well, my father wanted me to go into his practice right away with him, and I had a few things I had to get out of my system first.
Yeah, I remember that. They say you can get a lot out of your system as a ship's doctor.
It had its moments. Then after I got married, my wife wanted me to set up practice in her hometown. My father took it as kind of a personal rejection.
He never knew her, did he?
No, it might have been different if he had. But then she died, and he died.
Poor baby. I've got to get back.
All right. That should hold you for another day.
Thanks. I know I say that a lot, but I really mean it. Thanks.
Oh, sure, Fred.
Most of the guys that pick the habit up in Nome have to go cold turkey. I mean, if they go at all. I really don't think I could take that, you know?
I'm glad to help. Tomorrow at the same time, then?
Yeah, sure. Hey, listen, I don't mean to bend your ear. I mean, I guess you got plenty on your mind without me.
I suppose you could say that, Fred.
Well, take it easy.
Hmm?
Must be quite a markup on X-rays, Ron. You take so many of them.
Only fair. Real profit is an imaginary ailment. One of our bestsellers.
I'll bet.
All right, Frank, I'll phone you when we get the results of your tests.
Right. Oh, by the way, I took a business trip a couple of weeks ago to Jaegerstown.
Jaegerstown?
Mm-hmm. How long were you in practice back there?
Oh, about 5 years.
That's right. 5 years. Yes, you're well remembered back in Jaegerstown.
Glad you came, Frank.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
You think Fred Kramer will be all right? He's hitting it pretty hard.
No, I think he deserves a little fun. Lisa.
Ron, I spoke to Frank. You'd better know we're going away.
Going away?
Europe for a few months. It's a common prescription for couples giving it another chance.
What about us?
Darling, it's because of us. We just have to stop.
We haven't done anything.
We would.
We will.
How did his test come out anyway?
Oh, he's fine. He has a small cyst on his shoulder I'll have to remove, and it's just a minor office procedure.
Couldn't manage to lose him on the operating table, could you?
That's nothing to joke about.
No, of course not. Ron, I'm sorry about everything. Please.
Buy a drink, Ron?
You couldn't have timed it better.
Having a good time?
Yes, just fine.
Good.
Oh, thank you, Frank. Cheers.
Cheers. You danced as well, didn't you?
Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I suppose so.
You're Ron. I did something recently of which I'm not particularly proud.
Oh, what was that?
I hired a private detective.
You did? What for?
I knew Lisa was interested in another man.
Phil Proctor?
I'm talking about you, Ron. Now, please, don't bother to confirm or deny it. I also had you checked out pretty thoroughly back in Jaegerstown.
What for?
Well, I was curious. I wanted to know more about certain stories I'd heard. About you and those strange deaths.
I had to see this Dr. Waterbury while I was out in Jaegerstown. It was a bad break for you, really.
Waterbury, huh? Not one of my biggest boosters.
He said the people out there are pretty well convinced you were involved in both deaths. The mother-in-law and the wife. One after the other. In fact, the word he used was, murdered.
Makes quite a story, doesn't it?
I thought so.
There isn't a single word of truth in it. Never was a shred of evidence.
Not enough to bring you to court. Apparently enough to drive you out of town.
Did Waterbury happen to tell you what this whole affair was based on? The awful fact that my mother-in-law died of a heart attack one year and Helen died of the same cause the next.
They wondered why you signed both death certificates yourself.
It's not unusual.
And why the quick cremations.
It's what they wanted.